What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Sports Dép Podcast. Joey Alfieri, Simon Tsalikis. A bit of an emergency episode, but we kind of knew this was coming. So it's not really it's not like this is a pop quiz emergency. We knew that there was going to be a Hockey Canada announcement today for the Olympic team. They've done that. We're recording this just after 12:15, so this has been wrapped up officially for about 3, 4, 5 minutes. But the biggest news for this podcast anyway is that Nick Suzuki has made Team Canada. Tsalikis, we could get into the overall impressions in just a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to start there with Nick Suzuki because, to me, this was going to be dramatic. Like, this was going to be one of those things where, hey, is he going to make it? Is he not going to make it? There's a bunch of people that are in that wheelhouse. But the Fanatics leak, man, like Fanatics came out with a bunch of Nick Suzuki gear, and it ended up being true. It ended up all working out.
Yeah, look, Joey, he's if you look at the calendar year, 2025, he's one of the most point-producing players in the entire NHL, not just the Canadian players. He's been great, man. Post Four Nations, he's been one of the best players in this league. You know how I feel about him. I think you feel the same way. If you don't watch the Habs on the regular, you look at the depth that they had at center ice last year. This guy did all the heavy lifting last year. He got all the most difficult matchups. That trend has continued into this year as well. You got a young player like Kapanen behind him, but still, Nick Suzuki does the heavy lifting. The acquisition of Phil Danault, we're hoping that helps him a little bit. But the ability to play make, the ability to score, the ability to defend, the ability to play on the wing, the ability not to play in a game. It's a high hockey IQ, excellent hockey player, and it's nice because there's some really, really good franchise players that were left off this team, and that's what you're going to get. The Canada is probably, I don't think it's probably, I think they are the deepest country in the world when it comes to high-end hockey talent, and that's a nice thing for Nick Suzuki to hang out there, to put on the CV, Joey, as they say.
Yeah.
Team Canada 2016 in Italy. Not bad at all.
Yeah, and look, I don't think, especially if he stays at center, Simon, I don't think he's going to play an offensive role. Like, I think Nick Suzuki, if he stays down the middle, he's going to do a lot of he's a 200-foot player. He's a 90-point player, but he's a 200-foot player. And so I think when it comes to that, and when it comes to Suzuki, I mean, that's the role that he's going to play. Now, the only wild card I can see in all of this, Simon, is that, if you look at the Four Nations, the way Canada started, chemistry was a thing. I wonder if, if Nick Suzuki would go and play on the wing if ever Canada gets off to a slow start. Like, that's something that genuinely intrigues me. I think that's the next step in all of this is going to be, okay, does he stay down the middle? Because they've got some guys, like Bo Horvat made this team, right? Anthony Cirelli made this team.
Yes.
To me, those are all, I personally, I think Nick Suzuki today is a better player than those guys. That's just my opinion. I don't even think it's particularly close. I know that Bo Horvat's having an incredible year. It's not to take anything away from him, but I think Nick Suzuki's a better player there. Like, to me, those guys are shoo-ins to be fourth line, 13th forward players, in my opinion. Nick Suzuki, I think, as a 90 points, 89 points, whatever it was last year, he has that under his belt. So to me, it's one of those situations where I think you have to go out there and be like, okay, if he plays down the middle, I could even see them being aligned, like three centers being aligned on the fourth line. But I also think that if there's one guy that's going to get the bump up somewhere, I think that could be Nick Suzuki. How do you feel about Suzuki on the wing?
Yeah, I think definitely. I don't think those two gentlemen were brought up to even. I think what made Nick Suzuki special is that I think John Cooper thinks he can move him to the wing. He can do that. I'm not sure if he could do that with the other two guys. Now, again, I don't watch them on the regular like I watch Nick Suzuki. I think those guys were brought on, specifically Cirelli was brought on for a role. To me, it looks like he's going to be a dog on that fourth line. He's probably going to center some type of grunt line and a little crash and bang, call it what you want. I don't think Nick Suzuki's on this team. Look, Joey, it's an incredible responsibility because if they just go, everybody play their positions, you're the number 3 center behind McDavid and Crosby, maybe McKinnon. You're number 3 on this depth chart because I don't think they go McKinnon, McDavid, and Crosby's. One of those guys is going to wing. So then you put yourself in a third line center role with who? I'm envisioning a little bit of maybe because of the continuity, maybe Mitch Marner on one side, and perhaps Mark Stone on the other. Get the two Vegas Golden Knights players, put them in the middle. A lot of high hockey IQ on that line. So I think there's going to be a role for Nick Suzuki, and I don't think that role is starting as a 13th center and let's see where we get him in the lineup. I think he's penciled in probably somewhere around that third line, and I think it's very well deserving.
Yeah, and I could see that being the case. Did you want to get into your thoughts of what stood out to you before we go on to something else?
Two things. I said that I was totally for Jordan Binnington being on this team. The entire country owed him an apology. The elite stellar goaltending in overtime of that game, only because of him, we got Makar to Marner to McDavid back of the net. If it wasn't for Jordan Binnington, I don't think he's going to get a start. I think he's the third goalie on the depth chart here. But I think a thank you from Team Canada. A thank you from Team Canada fans. I mentioned it this morning on the morning show.
Hold on. You don't think he's going to play?
No, I don't think he's going to play.
You don't think he's going to play?
No.
Oh, I think he's going to play.
I think they brought him.
I think he's going to play.
Welcome to Milan. Sorrento, the rest of the Amalfi Coast. Enjoy yourself. The tour at the Coliseum, send us the invoice for that. Spanish Steps is free, but if you want to get a coffee or something, that's on us as well. Look, Joey, the numbers aren't good enough for him. He's not ahead of the other two guys. The other two guys are having good NHL seasons. I honestly think they're bringing Jordan Binnington as a thank you very much. And I don't got a problem with that because everybody was critical of him getting the starts. Most were not expecting that. And then he was absolutely stellar on a couple of Matthews chances, a Kachuk chance, bought us enough time for Canada to win it because I don't think there was a medal involved there. There was a nice trophy. And the other one, if I'm a fan of this fan base, if I follow this team around, Mark Scheifele's numbers are as good as anybody's in the NHL the last 2-3 years. His point production, his point total is better than Trelli, better than Horvat, better than Suzuki without even doing a deep dive. Last time they played this tournament, I think he was the highest rated forward from a point production standpoint that was left off the squad. And I'm pretty certain that happens again. I know that there'll be a little bit of maybe from Canadian Bruins fans asking where Geeky is. Outstanding 2025. I believe in the calendar year, nobody scored more goals than him. Okay, that's a tough one. But Scheifele not on again. I'm a little bit surprised with
that.
But
you have a lot of people that can score, right? So I think from Geeky, that's the Geeky argument.
Yes. We're gonna. Yeah. Geeky, I need you on the top two lines to score goals. I think I'm going to get production from my top two lines. The Scheifele, I think straight up it was Horvat for Scheifele. That's what I think it came down to. I don't believe Connor Bedard was in that discussion all the way to the end. Doesn't mean if there's an injury he can't get himself on that score. This got a Zamboni in your house? What is that? Is a Zamboni in your house?
It never ends.
I just want our listeners to know Joey's house.
Here comes.
Joey's house is so big that he's in his living room now. His living room is so big that it's not him and his wife with a traditional Dyson vacuum or anything. Joey's family needs an entire miniature Zamboni to clean the 3,000 square feet of living space in his condo.
Look at this. I mean, my backgrounds, they keep getting, I know our producer Simon's getting on me about the backgrounds and stuff like that. This week, my kid made an appearance. We had old family photos at my grandmother's house earlier.
I think it's amazing.
The Zamboni's here now. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
You got to wave a little bit. Give him a little bit of a wave or something.
I'm not going to give him a wave. I'm just going to let him do his thing here. I'm going to let him do his job. But here it comes. You tell me, is this like, how loud does this sound to you right now? He's doing the turn. He doesn't want to come.
No, it wasn't loud. It wasn't loud. It wasn't loud. It wasn't loud.
How about right now?
It wasn't loud.
Yeah. How about now?
I can't hear him.
Seriously?
I hear something, but I can't make out that there's some noise in the background. I can see him coming. I think I see him coming off the glass in the background there. So I think the Scheifele for me, I didn't think Bedard was going to be on it. And there was a point about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks ago, where you had to be nuts if you weren't going to put Macklin and Celebrini on this squad.
Yeah, but the two that jump, obviously, the Scheifele one is interesting. Again, I feel like Team Canada, Hockey Canada did it again. Sorelli, Horvat, and Suzuki. Like, I really don't know that you needed all of them. But like, man, there's a couple things here. Like, I know everyone. There's a right. I know Sidney Crosby didn't make Team Canada in 2006, and look what happened. That was in Italy as well, by the way. And I'm not saying that this team's not going to win gold. I fully expect them to win gold. It's just, everything is so bland. Like just the announcement itself was super bland. 4 people going up there and, reading off a paper. It's like, just make it cool. Make it 2026, man. It's 2026 last time I checked there. And the other thing is like, I like Travis Sanheim as a player. I think he's a good player. Like, he's a good defenseman. But, like, we're not going to bring an 18-year-old Matthew Schaefer. Like, with the things that Matthew Schaefer's doing on defense at 18 years old for New York, I mean, Simon, who expected New York Islanders to be where they are this season? Everybody, they're a team that, you don't watch, you don't pay attention, you don't want to, they're boring, But what this kid's brought, the number one overall pick, to make that type of impact, that as a teenager in the NHL, like, we're not going to bring that, man. We're going to bring Travis Simon. Again, they're going to win gold. They're going to win gold, or they're going to be in the gold medal game.
Yes.
But, at the end of the day, it's like, Schaefer. But the one, I mean, Connor Bedard, I know he's been injured. I know he's missed time with an injury. But it's like, really, again, just to confirm, Anthony Cirelli's on this team, right? Because the announcement just happened. And
I'm looking because we went on immediately. Do I see Cirelli? No, wait, hold on a second. I see, they're in alphabetical order by your good friend, former TSN 690 contributor Elliot Freeman. I believe he works for somebody else now. But we need Cirelli and Crosby. 1, 2, 3. It's kind of cool, no, Joey, for a Canadian-Italian kid to go up.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's amazing. It's very great. But at the end of the day, I would like the best players.
I didn't have Schaefer on my list either.
I get that one. I understand that one. But
I think this is the thing.
Bedard, like, really.
But Joey, this is the thing, though. I watch Connor Bedard highlights on the daily. I don't tune into the Blackhawks. They're not there just yet. If I'm staying up to watch a little West Coast hockey, I watch the Avalanche play. I'll watch Vegas play. And first on my list, anytime I get an opportunity to watch McDavid and Draisaitl. So full disclosure, I have not tuned into a 60-minute match of the Blackhawks unless they're playing the Habs.
Right.
I think their concerns with the Bedard is this. When the kid's going to be a freak, the kid's going to be a 100-point player. This is without question. He's going to make run at MVPs and everything else. He has the luxury of getting the matchup that he wants at home now, and goes out there with a against a second pairing or a third pairing, and he goes out there against a team's third line or fourth line. The thing is this, and I don't want to be overly critical of the young man because he's going to be great. When he is great, yes. When you're out there against the Americans, the Swedes, or the Finns, let's say the Big Four, you're out there against other teams' top first liners. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but Simon, you're playing with all world people too.
I know, but like, is he ready, Joey? Evan Bouchard is not on this team. Statistically, points-wise,
for sure.
Evan Bouchard should be on this team from a point standpoint. Not on my team, but he should be. But like I mentioned this today, if you make a mistake on Tuesday, you're playing hockey again on Thursday. If you make a mistake here, you're out of the tournament. It's tournament play. And I even used your Azzurri as the ultimate example.
Don't use them for anything. It's fine.
But back when they excelled at soccer, Joey, nobody played tournament football like the Italians. They just knew, hey, this ain't it's not this is not a marathon, man. This is a sprint. We got to get this done. We got to qualify these games. We got to get out of the knockout stage. It doesn't have to be pretty, but we can't turn it over. We can't make mistakes. And I think that's the one thing on Bedard. When you match him up against the Americans' fourth line, and because he's out there in a defensive assignment or a defensive faceoff, is he good enough to make
sure? Don't put him in a defensive assignment.
Well, I'm just saying, let's say he gets caught out there and there's an icing and stuff like that. I think that's the one thing. We're talking about a young player that's going to be a superstar. We're trying to find the reason why he's not on. I think is that they probably don't trust him enough defensively at 5-on-5.
I know, but they get in their own way then sometimes. Then don't come to me after and tell me, we're off to a slow start offensively, like at the 4-8. Finding somebody to play with Connor McDavid was tough. It's not like they hit it off right away. Like you're telling me that, Crosby can't handle some assignments, Suzuki can't handle some assignments, the Horvat can't handle some assignments. They got a Braden Point can't handle some assignments. Like it's Team Canada assignment. I know that there's some guys that are offense first, but man, like really, like we don't have enough guys in this country, like superstar players that can end up playing. If they get stuck out there for a 30-second shift in their own end that they can't figure it out.
Some of the point of game players who are part of the older guard who are more responsible in their end, yes. And the thing with Connor Bedard is his game up there and is it completely polished. I don't think he's there just yet. Now, you can make a great case, Joey, bring him along and never play him, because he's going to be part of this team for the next probably 3 Olympics, right? But I think I get from the makeup of the team and the head coach, I kind of see what they're trying to do here.
Sure. I don't know.
Your boy Tom Wilson, you content with your boy Tom Wilson?
It's fine. I mean, based on the way it went at the Four Nations, they're very predictable. It's very, it was good. And he's a good player. I mean, it's not he's a bad player. And
he's a very good skater, and he's elite.
There's only truly, I mean, how many of those guys are there? You know what I mean? Like Brady, Matthew, Wilson. Like, how many guys are there? And I still don't think that Wilson is in that category, but
I don't think he's in that category from a point production.
That's what I mean.
But from a physicality,
100%.
He's ahead of both of those guys. Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
But to me, you saw how it was in February. I think if it comes down to that again, and the Tkachuks are going to do what the Tkachuks do, well, then I think you wanted to bring. You're going to bring a Tom Wilson. You're going to bring Reinhardt. I think he's on that team as well. Correct.
Yes. Reinhardt was penciled in one of the originals from last.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's right. So, to me, I get it. I'm not turned off by it, but at least you only have one of those guys. They brought guys that are defensively responsible, guys that are having good years. But it's disappointing sometimes when, and I'm all, I don't want to bring the All-Star team. I don't want 4 lines of pure offense. That's not what I'm saying. But, these guys are going to be part, Connor Bedard is going to be part of Team Canada for years and years and years to come. I mean, and look, this is the other thing we haven't mentioned. There's a bunch of guys that have gotten phone calls already that have been told, like, hey, if anybody goes down, if anything happens, you're all good.
Connor Bedard and Mark Scheifele are the first 2.
Sure.
Bedard probably ahead of Scheifele.
I would think so too. I'm curious to see what they're going to do on defense. I don't know if you were watching on TSN.
I was not. I was following on Twitter.
Well, right before their, the announcement, they cut to Hockey Canada. They had the panel, and on defense, like, he wasn't saying he should be on the team, but Mike Johnson, who I respect a ton, been on the air, with Mike. We went back when I was doing the drive show. Mike was a regular contributor, so I respect him a lot. He mentioned Noah Dobson's name. He's like, Noah Dobson's had a pretty good season, and he's been really good of late. I just wonder, like, if you go down, if there's a couple defensemen that go down here, Simon, like, is Noah Dobson going to get a call? Because again, like, these puck-moving defensemen that the Canadians have, like, they're never unanimous in the fan base. It was like Jeff Petrie. Everybody was split on Jeff Petrie. I love Jeff Petrie. But, and Mike Matheson is the same deal. So Noah Dobson now, it's like, oh, did they make a mistake? Like, relax. Like, let's calm down here. The guy has put up, the numbers he's put up are pretty impressive already. And he's playing in a new team, in a new market and whatever, and he's figured it out.
He's got 8 points in his last 4 games, too. He's on a bit of a heater.
Yeah.
I think he might be on a short list.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get to the point where it's him that gets called up. But, if you go down 2-3 guys get hurt between now and the start of this thing, I wonder if he can be there.
And depending on who goes down, yes, I think you can make a case. And you know what? Maybe Schaefer's first on deck. They want to go with the youth and everything else with that. But Dobson has to be on that list. And I'll say this, Joey, not too far behind. You would have to have some serious injuries. Mike Matheson has also played at a high level. And if we want to talk about skating ability on a big surface, Mike Matheson.
Well, it's not a big surface. It's not a big surface. Well, it's actually smaller. It's smaller than any.
Yes, you're right. They shrunk there between the blue lines. They make it a little bit smaller. But, we're talking about an elite skater here. So, but I think Dobson, if things were to go unfortunate for some of the guys that have made the squad, I got to think Dobson might be one of the first calls they make.
I wasn't surprised, Simon. I couldn't help but feel just a tinge of sadness when they announced the 3 goalies. And it made me, like, I was paying attention to who the next names were, so it was hard to really dwell on this. But just the fall for Sam Montembeault, because it would have been really cool to be, a guy drafted early-ish, 2nd-round pick, didn't work out in Florida, get put on waivers, you go to your home team in your home province, and you excel, you make the Four Nations team. I know you don't play, you make the team, but just the fall from grace, it was too much, man. Like, I had a thought for Sam Montembeault in that moment, because it's super disappointing that, in less than a calendar year, that he went from the 3rd guy to not being around.
Yeah, and he went from the 3rd guy, and the 2 guys ahead of him were not Martin Brodeur and Patrick Roy. It was like, hey, man, if I come into camp this year and I have myself a very good September and I hit the ground running in October, hey, there's an opportunity for me to be definitely one of the 3 guys. And maybe maybe and if you would have had Logan Thompson's here this year, it may be an opportunity to be the starter for Canada. So look, baby steps for Sam. He's got to get his way back. Massive win against the Florida Panthers. I thought he was
really well. It was really good.
I thought he was very good in that game. And this is all this team seems to need. Joey, they need some good goaltending, and if they get very good goaltending, that's how they secure one of the top 2 spots in the Atlantic Division. But a little bit of a fall for Sam, but a bit of a bigger picture is here too. You're in the dogfight for the top spot of the Atlantic, and there's still plenty of opportunity for you to be the man on this team.
Lastly, just we'll end on a Canadians note. But I saw you commented on X on this. No supplemental discipline coming for Brad Marchand, who did make Team Canada, but no supplemental discipline coming for the hit to the head on Matheson. He ended up getting called 2 minutes for roughing, and the Canadians end up scoring in overtime there. But how surprised were you that there was no audience, as they say in French?
Very surprised. Very surprised.
The next game is an outdoor game.
Yeah.
The next game is an outdoor game.
You can just say you're off, and we'll reassess this when we go back on Monday and suspend him afterwards. I don't
think you can say that.
Yeah. And I also don't think – I get the part that he's a big name. Like, I don't think anybody's giving their tickets back because Brad Marchand won't be in that outdoor game. I don't know who's even televising the game, nor do I care south of the border. They're not going to retract their contractual rights to show the game. Brad Marchand's not in the game. We outie. Joey, there's a lot of things that I would imagine NHL players can tolerate. You're standing by the boards, you turn, somebody hits you from behind, you bait them into that, it hurts. You go across the ice, little chicken wing, you drop the gloves, the guy might punch you when you're on the ice. Those are all part of the nastiness of hockey that is somewhat tolerated within the players. A guy on one knee, down, and you come across, you load the elbow, calculate a shot. People are calling it a headshot. It wasn't a headshot, Joey. It's right here. Jaw, face area.
Yeah, you got him in the head. You got him in the face area.
Come on, what are we doing? Like, I want to take you seriously here. If that's not a headshot, what is? What is?
I think the argument is
shot to the head.
I think the argument is that Matheson is hunched over and he comes in quick. It's a stupid argument. I agree with you 100%. I just think that if Matheson is standing up, then I don't even think we're talking about this because Marchand's too short to reach him. Matheson's taller. But if he could, in theory, hit him in the head while he's upright, then I think there's maybe a conversation to be had. But I don't know. I think there's something there. Yeah, it's a fail. But I can't shake the outdoor feel. I'm done with outdoor games too. But I can't help but shake that the outdoor game. If you suspend him, misses the outdoor game. To me, that's just I can't help but shake that.
Could be. Just terrible.
Yeah. I think that's it. So, I think this is the last one for 2025. I mean, I think I'll let you talk too, but I just want to say, this is a 2-month project in the making here. We're 2.5 months, I guess, and we had a break in between because Sam and I were away for a while on business. But the response has been crazy. The amount of people that are messaging me, telling me hey, we're really enjoying this and this is cool. We hope that you guys continue. This was a bit of a pilot project for us that it's been in the works for a long time. We finally put it all together in September, October of this year. And it's a lot of work, as you can tell. We're filming in all different places, and my backgrounds are a little insane with Zambonis and grandmother's basement and the whole bit. But we stopped on a dime to record because we want to record consistently, and this is going to be the last one for 2025. And I know it's only been a couple months, but the amount of subscribers, the amount of people that listen to the audio version, the amount of people that watch on YouTube every episode has just been remarkable. So for 2025, thanks to you, thanks to Sam, thanks to our partners who are there. But I mean, just thanks to the audience because, whether they rip you, rip me, I don't really care. I find it hilarious and I appreciate people's feedback, but just super thankful in 2025 that, we're building a small community and it feels like, this thing has the opportunity to be massive.
Absolutely. And one of the most popular teams in the world with one of the more largest fan bases in the world. And I'm happy when people weigh in, and it's great to do because, look, it's also nice, Joey, because you spent a lot of time at TSN 690 when they were punching their ticket out of the playoffs by the time we got to December 31st. And that is not the case with this squad. Actually, it's not just a team that's winning. It's a team that's fun to watch, man. And winning comes first because I always think if they're fun to watch and they lose, that loses its luster a little bit. But what a blessing, to, at least when you're following or covering a hockey team and watching them, is that they're good and they're fun. That's exactly what we do when we sign up as fans. So, thoroughly enjoying the ride here with you and Sam.
Yeah, it's always fun. And I know we talk about Sam. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go. Can I go off script, Tsalikis? And I know his stomach is going to be churning. Sam, can you put your camera on? I want Sam to jump on board here. I want Sam to show himself.
Okay. Allez.
Samuel, je sais que c'est moi et Simon qui sont sur le podcast, mais juste te remercier pour tout le boulot que tu fais. Te remercier pour tous les visuels, même le SD en arrière là, que tu fais en background, the clips that we put out. The clips that we put out every day. That's all, Sam. So, Sam, juste si tu as un petit message pour conclure l'année 2025, l'audience qu'on a ici, le monde qui nous écoute, parce que tu es une grande partie du podcast.
Je vous remercie. Là. Vous êtes quand même une grande partie du podcast. On est une équipe là-dedans. Puis je pense que ce qui s'en vient en 2026, that's gonna be huge. 26 gonna be huge. So keep posting.
I know it's gonna be huge when Sam says it in English. That's when it's serious. Sam goes English, that's what it is. Mais juste, on va te remercier, Sam, parce que on est une équipe, comme tu as mentionné, mais moi et Simon, on est toujours en avant de la caméra. Mais pour vrai, sans toi, j'espère que tu sais que le podcast, on va parler à nous-mêmes, on va se parler sur FaceTime, puis il n'y a personne qui va être capable d'écouter. Donc, merci pour tout ton travail. And Simon, it's always a pleasure. I know we kid ourselves a lot. Sam logged off quick. But there's nobody.
Sam's got work to do, bro. Sam's got work to do.
There's nobody else I would do this with. Appreciate you big time. I hope you know that. And the chemistry, I think, is it's like McDavid and Hyman. And you know what I mean? I'm surprised Zach Hyman didn't make the team. I'll let you pick who you are. If you want to be Connor McDavid, that's fine. I'll be Zach Hyman. But it's always a pleasure doing this with you. And happy New Year to you and the family. And we'll talk again very early in 2026. We'll be back in the studio next week. So I know that we've been out of the studio. My backgrounds have been crazy. But we will be in the studio next week. So,
ciao, everyone. I just want to wish everybody very quickly health and happiness. Nothing more than that. Once you got those two things locked up, everything else falls into place. So looking forward to the next couple of weeks here as we get closer to the Olympics. That should be great.
Yeah, we have some cool collaborations coming in 2026. There's people that have reached out. We've reached out to people. So we'll have some really fun guests. We'll have some outside the box. It's going to be different, but we'll have some outside the box collaborations as well. And we'll have a really good, we're building up a really impressive guest list to entertain you guys. So we'll be
like collaboration with some of that Italian company, Moncler. So we get some nice Moncler jackets. That's the collaboration I'm looking for, Alfieri.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do, Tsalikis. You're all about the clothes. You're such a fancy guy. I'll
take the free Moncler jacket whenever I can get it. Yes.
Yeah, sure. I don't know that we're there yet, but hopefully we can get there in the very, very near future. We've got a lot to get to, so make sure that you don't miss out on this in 2026. And just make sure you subscribe on the YouTube page. That helps us out a lot. Leave us a rating, comment on the videos, make fun of Simon, make fun of me. We don't care. You can even make fun of Sam now that everybody got to meet Sam.
Sam's a celebrity.
You can make fun of Sam too. He's going to be beating people away with a stick at the grocery store now because everyone's going to want to talk to him. But just, you can listen to the podcast like we mentioned all the time. You can listen on Apple Podcasts. You can listen on Spotify. You can watch it on YouTube. That's pretty much it. So happy New Year, everyone. We'll be back early on in the new year. We'll have plenty of Montreal Canadiens talk, plenty of Olympic talk coming up as well, and we'll even get into the World Juniors. So have a great rest of your day. Have a great rest of your week. Happy New Year, everybody, and we'll be back on the Sports Dép Podcast next year.